Hey y'all, what's up, what's good? It's your girl Michaela Janae here, back with another video, and today I am coming with the reading content. Y'all, your girl has been in and out of a reading slump, not really wanting to read because of the different sicknesses that was coming up, being busy, and reading just hasn't been something that was on my forefront of my mind. I've really been crocheting a lot. As you can see, I'm in one of my crochet pieces right now, but I have accumulated a group of books that I would love to share with you guys. As you guys know, on this channel I only share clean, closed-door Christian fiction for you guys because I feel like there's a whole group of women who enjoy romance and they don't want to compromise their faith by reading it. I prefer a sweet romance, a clean romance. As you guys know, I've stated before that I am in a book club, but if the books have too much going on, I decline that book for the month and just wait for a better one to come up that is more clean or easily skippable spice. But on my own time, I'm reading clean, closed-door fiction. So in this video, I want to give you guys some recommendations because I think most of the books I read are really good. Most of the clean Christian fiction books I read, I have never rated it below a 4-star because they're all so good, they're all so sweet, and I love when they really incorporate Jesus. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. So the first book that I would like to share for you guys is Finding Spring by Bridget E. Baker. You guys know that I've read, like, I want to say one other book by her, and it was a Christmas book. I really enjoyed her writing because she really entrusts you in her world. She deals with a lot of real world issues, and her books really read like a TV show. I compare everything in my mind to either movie, TV content, and that's where books fall for me, so I categorize it. Her books give TV, you know, long form storylines, in depth with the characters. A movie is a snapshot of one moment, a long moment, but a TV show is continuous. So her books really throw me into this world with a unique group of people with unique issues. I wish she had a little bit more people of color in her book, but you can't win them all. This book was really good. I rated it 5 stars, and in this book you're following Trudy. She is the sister, little sister of the lady from the first book I read. So in that first book, it was a Christmas book, and she was dealing with keeping her Christmas program going. They wanted to get rid of it. She was an accountant. That's what it was about. I'm trying to jog y'all memory while I jog my memory. So this is her sister. She does have a little boy. I want to say he's like either 2 or 3. He does have diabetes. She's recently divorced, and she's really trying to get her footing right now. She's living in her sister and her brother-in-law's like old house. She's renting it from them, but I don't think they really charge her anything because they know like Trudy's trying to get it together. I think she's already in college and she's trying to find a job within her field. As she's looking for a job, you know, trying to pay her sister back, her sister's like, you don't need to pay me back, you can stay here as long as you want, but I'm also trying to hook you up with my husband's brother. So they're trying to have like a brother and sister-in-law blind date, trying to really get them together before their wedding comes up. But she's like, no, I'm not really trying to get with your husband's brother. I don't know him. I'm not worried about dating until I can get my life together. But just so happened, you know, Trudy's doing interviews and things, and little does she know, she ends up interviewing for the brother-in-law's business. You know, they begin to work together. She does an amazing job working for him. Him and his brother is rich. Love that. And he does like startup companies. He's trying to do this without his brother's help. So he's over here using a fake name. He doesn't tell the employees the name of the business. It was a lot of secrets going on in this book. Very interesting. It definitely kept me entertained. The romance element was cute, but Trudy definitely got on my nerves a lot. So that might bring this book down to a 4.5 because some of the decisions she was making, I'm like, girl, go be with the millionaire, and it'll solve that issue right on up. So if you enjoy like miscommunication trope, that is definitely in this book. If you like real family elements, single mom type vibes, that's what's in this book. And I think this book is more so clean. I think they do have some Christian elements because they definitely do go to church in a few scenes. It's not a lot of Christian elements. It could have been a little bit more, but it's definitely clean and closed door. So this one is very good. So the next book that I want to share with you guys is actually an arc. I'm so grateful for all my arcs. I made sure during this time, even though I wasn't creating content, I was leaving reviews on my Goodreads. So make sure you're following me on Goodreads. I think my name is just Michaela Janae, but I'll try to link it down in the description box. The Overdue Kiss by Callie Thomas. This is in the Give a Bookish Girl a Biker series. You guys know I enjoyed being in this world so much, and I'm so sad that this series is now over. It was so fun to be here. It made me get a new appreciation for bikers and their backpacks. I had no idea that a passenger on a biker was called backpack, the more you know, okay? So this book right here, let me just read you guys my review. I said I absolutely love getting a peek into this mountain town of Rokosha. All of these books are set in Colorado. Very interesting because that is somewhere that I want to visit one day. Their small historic town charm was strong, and even the little characters in this book left a big impact. I love the representation of Maya's heritage. She was Hispanic, I want to say, and they represented it so well. I love the relationship between her and her mom and how much she enjoyed cooking. Also, I love the relationship between her and her friend. I think her friend was the mechanic of the town, and Desmond was just super sweet. Like, I loved Desmond so much. I love how he respected her boundaries and just stood in the gap with her until her head caught up with her heart, because it really took her a long time to really grasp if she wanted to be in a relationship or not, because she had just got out of a really bad breakup not too long ago, and she was still kind of stuck on it because the guy was like a famous radio host, so it's like he was always following her. She always was hearing his radio show, so it was kind of a lot. So she wasn't ready to automatically jump into something with him, and he did a really good job of just being a friend. I also love that he was always just giving her a ride. Desmond was also a teacher. He had his own place. He had animals. I just love this book a lot. It was very sweet, and I definitely gave this 5 out of 5 stars. And I really want to get into Callie Thomas's backlog because I really did enjoy her writing and her storytelling. This one was very, very good. So if you like bikers, definitely get into this one. So I think she was a librarian, and I just loved her idea of, you know, going to help libraries, bringing books to communities. I know in my city in particular, they do have like a library in a van situation. Like, she had to bring books to communities and children that do not have access. So I absolutely loved that. The next book that I want to share is The End Dilemma by Tawny Suchi, I think you pronounce her name. This is another art. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. And this one was number 5 in that series. And let me read you guys my review. It was 5 stars again. I said The End Dilemma is a true story of redemption. There was so much in this story that keeps you hooked, from Nova's past relationships to her parents' tumultuous marriage, to Holt's relationship with his parents, to the history of the end. When I tell you this book had the drama, because they had sickness, they had cheating, all these are like trigger warnings, okay? They had parents dealing with infidelity, they had military trauma, toxic parents. It had a lot, but it kept you enthralled. And then they had the history of the end, in which I loved found family aspect of this book, and how it was really a redemption book. The main girl, Nova, which I've loved that name recently, Nova went overseas against her parents' will, lived in Paris with a boyfriend who just she thought was better than he was. He ended up not being good at all. I love that Nova was an artist, because you guys know I really used to love to paint. I need to get back into that. She was an artist. She had a hard time in Paris with his boyfriend. She comes back home after a couple years, and you know, she doesn't think that her family ties are strong. Her dad rejects her. The mom is pretty much indifferent. She doesn't really care because she's the one who is having an affair at the moment, and her brother is just happy to see her, but you know, kind of confused as to why she ended that relationship with him. Now also, the brother has his own book in this series also, so he's a biker. He knows Holt very well, so he trusts him with her sister. It was just so cute, and I love her relationship between her and, you know, the innkeeper and the history of that. So much was going on in this book, but it was so good. So if you like a little history and a lot of drama, this book is for you, because it definitely has the drama, but it's still so in a, you know, Christian fiction way. I don't remember how much of God was incorporated, but it's definitely clean, nothing untasteful about it at all. But if you like something that's a little bit more drama, a lot more plot points going on, this one would be for you. So next up, I have another arc, and it is Spoke Too Soon, a sweet romantic comedy by Dulcie Dameron. You guys know I love Dulcie Dameron as a author. Her books are amazing. I think I rated this one 5 stars right here. This one follows Charles, aka Dane, and what was the girl's name? I cannot think of this girl's name, but for me, she was a character that I really loved to dislike. I liked her a lot, but she had some qualities that were just, you know, hard. And I really enjoyed the foster care representation, because to me, this is an example of what growing up as a foster youth and then becoming a foster adult looks like when you never get to a loving home and you don't get adopted, or you're just not in a place where you feel comfortable. She was rightfully so very closed off. Her heart was very hard, and I can understand that. I understand how it can look book like that. As a reader, did I enjoy it all the time? Not really, but I appreciated it, and I love that the author took it to that place and was authentic about how that can look, and that made the book refreshing. Like, you don't have to agree with every single character's motives or their emotions or their feelings, but that doesn't make the book any less good. This book was great, and for all of the main FMC's prickliness, Dane was just amazing. Now, this book has major miscommunication, and Miss Dulcie Dameron does that amazingly. She does a great job of miscommunication because, you know, it's just be so confusing, and I just want the people to instantly get it together, because I'm like, this communication is stupid. Get it together, like, talk to each other. But they ended up having to do like some forced proximity. She has to move in with him for a little while, and I love how the author addresses that in a traditional manner, because Dane's mother is not feeling that. She's like, are y'all dating? When you gonna start dating? What's going on here? Why are y'all living together? Okay, I love that that was addressed, because it's not something that everybody's going to choose for themselves, especially a lot of Christian women. So I also love that the main character was a fashion designer. You guys know I love to sew, crochet, so you don't get a lot of sewing representation. I think the last sewing book I read was by Jenny Proctor. There was a fashion designer in her book, so I love to see this. I love to see accurate, you know, her discussing her making her clothes, her wearing the items that she made, making clothes for her friends and stuff, and making a suit for Dane. They have the whole trope of he takes care of her while he's sick. I made sure I include that in my review because I loved that. Okay, he did such a good job taking care of her. I loved him so much. I could have read a entirely second book of their story, because the ending, you know, left me wanting a little bit more. This one gave movie. It didn't give TV show, it gave movie, so I needed a part 2. So I think that is all for what I have been reading recently. That's pretty good, but let me tell you what I am wanting to read next. So right now I'm trying to read With This Ring by Amy Clipston. It's starting off slow, and I only have 10 days left to read it, so we'll see how that goes. The characters are kind of getting on my nerves. This is clean and Christian, but we'll see. And I also want to get into Uneasy Street by Becky Wade. You guys know I love Becky Wade. I didn't read the second book in the Sons of Scandal romance because a lot of people didn't like it, but I did read the first and I enjoyed it, so we're gonna see how I feel about the third. And I also want to read Sometimes You Stay by Liz Johnson. I really like Liz Johnson. I think this is one of her newer books, so very excited about those. That is what's currently on my TBR. I was so glad that I was able to do this video because this is literally my second time recording it. The first time I deleted all the footage because I ran out of space and I was just deleting it, and I deleted the beginning of the video and I was just done. That was the last straw, because like I said, I was sick at the time and I'm like, I'm over it. So I'm so glad to be back. Let me know what you guys have been reading recently. Let me know if you have any clean Christian fall, I'm ready for fall books already, recommendations, and go ahead and leave them in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in my next video.